Which movie? I'm sorry. Which movie were y'all talking about?
Frontier Crucible.
Oh, yeah, I
which is
watched
out
it.
now on Amazon Prime and YouTube and wherever else movies are streamable. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
you, dear viewer,
yeah,
should watch the fuck out of it right now.
exactly. There you
I
go.
already bought it and watched it.
Thank you.
I thought you saw that on
Yeah,
the
I
thing. Yeah.
appreciate that, Erwin.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, it was excellent. Yeah,
There
very
we go.
well done.
Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want me to write a review, let me know when,
Yes.
where, and
I would like you to write a review. Absolutely.
okay.
There you go.
I'll post it somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb. Those are like some of the big ones.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
Go.
Will do.
All right, we have not a black woman, but black, and then a woman screams. So
This is Cannibal. All right.
this is
Oh, this is the new cold open John was talking about.
yes.
All right. Fade in. Black. A woman screams. Springfield trapdoor rifles crack. Single deliberate shots. Begin opening montage. Exterior Tenahe Village, Dakota Territory, night. Wattle and Daub cabins blaze. A U.S. Army general looms over a Tenahe medicine woman. He flashes an evil, mischievous grin. Blood streams from a gash on her forehead. She lies frozen in terror. Those were excellent uses of semicolons, John.
Yes, I love it.
The general's eyes look on the white bone flute clutched in her hand. He grabs it. She fights to keep it. Bang, his pistol spits flame. The bullet blows brain matter across the mud.
Ooh.
The general rises and yanks the flute free. He holsters the smoking revolver and studies his prize. Carved from a white buffalo's femur. Are all femurs not white? Anyways,
Well,
the flute gleams like ivory. It's bone, of course. It gleams
in
like.
this case, the buffalo that it was taken from was white.
And how can you tell that from the bone?
I don't know that you can.
I'm pretty sure that's literally the part furthest from the skin in most animals.
Yes.
Also, ivory doesn't gleam. The general smiles, pleased. In the shadows, several feet away, a 10-year-old Tenahe girl watches wide-eyed.
Damn right she does.
Exterior, Dakota Forest, Forest Path Day. The general leads his troops on horseback. Above in the canopy, native warriors draw bows. Their leader looses an arrow.
Yes.
Is what you should write.
Yes.
An arrow punches the general's throat. He gurgles blood, spurs his horse off the trail as arrows rain into the troops.
Ow.
Deeper in the forest, the general tumbles from his horse.
Ouch.
The bone flute, now it's a John Lamont script, slips from his coat, rolls down the riverbank, and vanishes into the current. Exterior, Dakota Forest, river sandbar day. A prospector pans for gold. A white shiny object catches his eye. He fishes the bone flute from the sand and brushes away the dirt. Interior trading post day. The prospector barters supplies with the shopkeeper. He trades the bone flute for goods and heads out. Interior tavern night. The shopkeeper, a traveling salesman, and 2 other men play poker between shots of whiskey. A duck walks into the bar. And the salesman pushes all in. The shopkeeper tosses the bone flute into the pot. Cards flip. The salesman rakes the winnings. He lifts the flute, tracing the intricate carvings with his fingers. Exterior Mineral City Trade Station Day, the traveling salesman. Now with a name. So he should have had a name the whole time, John. Steps off the train, and opening montage.
All right.
Interior Mineral City Tavern late afternoon. Silas saunters to the bar and sets his case down. Glass bottles clink inside. The bartender approaches.
What'll it be?
Silas flashes a broad, too friendly grin.
Whiskey, my good man.
The bartender slaps a shot glass on the bar and reaches for the bottle.
5 cents.
That's highway robbery, that price.
Yeah.
Silas opens his case, revealing rows of glass vials.
I got something worth far more than 5 cents, friend.
He pulls out a vial of murky amber liquid.
Thorn's sacred bark spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Distilled from the miracle sap of an ancient Indian holy tree.
The bartender arches a brow, unimpressed.
You paying for whiskey with more whiskey?
This ain't ordinary whiskey. This here's the future of whiskey. Limited harvests. Once them trees are gone, no more sap. Let it age proper. And it'll turn smoother than Kentucky bourbon. Hold long enough.
Silas grins wide.
And this bottle will take you straight to the moon.
The bartender bursts into a belly laugh. He pulls a silver dollar from his pocket, knocks on the bar. Sharp metallic ring. Okay, why though? Because the metal just hit wood.
Well, because it's silver.
Yeah, that's not how that
You
works.
could clang it against the glass.
Yeah.
That would be better.
I'll hold something I can feel the weight of. Silver don't need years to prove its worth. See, he's been following all my Twitter activity. Stay up or get out. By the way, does anyone want to guess the current price of silver?
You're to lose your shirt on silver.
Yeah.
Silas's smile
$4.50 an
fades.
ounce.
He drops a nickel. You're better off investing in RAM production. He drops a nickel on the bar. The
Until
bartender
the AI
pours.
bubble bursts.
And don't peddle that horse manure in my place.
The bartender turns back to his work. Ruby, one of the tavern's working girls, slides up beside Silas.
Oh, don't pay him no mind, sugar.
Silas eyes her up and down, admiring the low-cut corset that flatters her shapely figure, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Exterior, wagon camp, edge of town. Night, a covered sales wagon sits alone on the prairie. Town lanterns flicker faintly in the distance. Fresh buffalo hides stretch on drying racks. Wait, aren't the Dakotas like foothills?
I mean,
Whatever. Someone else can look it up.
Yeah. What part are you citing? A covered wagon?
I've seen Deadwood.
Okay. All right. So you're saying
And wasn't there a lot of mining going on?
Sure. So you're saying the description of prairie is what you dislike?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Mostly because I'm from Canada and like Saskatchewan is so flat.
Yeah. Okay.
So the prairie in the States is also a different prairie to a degree. Town lanterns flicker faintly in the distance. Fresh buffalo hides stretch on drying wraps. Silas and Ruby tumble on a bedroll near the fire. Blah, 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 blah. Firelight dances across her naked body. Blah, blah. Silas grunts. Blah, blah, blah.
That all?
Night's young yet.
Ruby rises, pours whiskey from a bottle by the fire. Her gaze lands on the bone flute in Silas's open bag. She lifts it, mesmerized. This is such a John Lamont script. Silas stands,
I'm getting back to my roots
from her hand.
It's beautiful.
He touches her chin.
Not as beautiful as you.
Can you play it?
Oh, this is such a John Lamont script. Silas chuckles.
Won it in the poker game.
A sly thought sparks.
Stay with me while I'm in town, and it's yours.
Ruby hesitates.
Mr. Thorne, I ain't sure.
He presses a finger to her lips. She smiles, agreement sealed. Ruby steps toward the fire, studies the carvings, then raises the flute to her lips. She blows gently. A shrill, off-pitch squeak escapes. She laughs.
Reckon you could use a lesson or two.
Maybe you're right.
Suddenly, an ear-piercing shriek rips through the night like drowning bison dragged through hell. Okay, that's problematically descriptive and doesn't say anything.
That's for the sound guy to figure out.
Yeah, maybe don't torture the sound guy. Ruby and Silas clap hands to ears until the sound dies. Can't you just go to a petting zoo and like see what sounds bison make?
I mean,
But
Silence
this is drowning
falls.
bison dragged through hell.
They scan the darkness. Fear creeps into Ruby's eyes.
Mr.
Look.
Thorne, maybe we ought to head back to town before whatever.
A massive shadow punches through Silas's chest, Blood displays across Ruby's face and bare breasts. Fucking
Oh, love it.
Ruby screams. Silas gasps in agony. Darkness swirls around him. Shadow coalesces into a towering black bull beast cannibal. Ruby's screams echo as Silas's body showering her naked body with blood and viscera. Is this an Evil Dead script?
I mean, there are zombies or undead or whatever.
I mean,
monsters.
There's a shadow bull creature.
Yes.
That's what we definitely have.
Yes. And we have viscera.
Well, yes, everyone has viscera inside them, Preston. That's not special.
Okay, but
Ruby's screams echo as Silas' body bursts, showering her naked body with blood and viscera. Cannibal fixes her with burning red eyes. Fiery orange mist snorts from its snout. Ruby bolts toward the distant town lights, screaming. No one hears. Cannibal charges. Horns gore her back. She crashes to the ground. She rolls over, crawls in agony. The beast looms over above her, snorts, then inhales Ruby's life force, which for no reason is italicized. A glowing white mist streams into its maw. She gasps, mouth wide in a silent scream, body writhing in the mud. Cut to black. Title card. Cannibal. Exterior. And ranch house. Late afternoon. Douglas Callahan, Doug.
Good old Doug.
Stands in the yard with his sons, Joshua, 17, and William, 12. The boys aim rifles at tin cans perched on the fence.
Squeeze the trigger, boys. Don't pull.
Crack. Joshua is shot, sends his can flying. Williams is misses wide. The younger boy pouts. Doug steps beside William.
It's all right. Reload and try again.
The boys breach their rifles and chamber fresh rounds. William hefts the heavy weapon, arms trembling. Doug adjusts the boy's forward grip, nudges his feet apart.
Hand here, widen your stance. Patience, son.
Front porch, Elizabeth Callahan, 30s, warm but tired. Steps out, Milo, their Scotch collie, rouses and barks once at Doug. In the yard, Doug meets Elizabeth's eyes. She offers a small smile.
Go on, William.
William fires. Characters should have the same name every time they're spoken about.
Exactly.
The bullet clips the can, it spins and drops. The bullet clips the can, it spins and drops. Doug grins, ruffles the boy's hair.
There you go.
Boys, supper's ready. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Boys, supper's ready.
You heard your ma. Go wash up.
Interior Callahan Ranch House, master bedroom night. Doug and Elizabeth sleep. An ear-piercing shriek rattles the windows.
Yeah.
Milo bolts awake and dives under the bed, whimpering. Doug snaps upright, lunges to the window, parts the curtain. Nothing but pitch black.
Doug?
I don't know.
Distant, agonized lowing drifts across the plains. A chill crawls down Doug's spine. Exterior Callahan Ranch House dawn. Rifle in hand, Doug steps onto the porch.
Milo, come.
Milo cowers in the doorway, whimpering, and backs inside. Doug shakes his head, marches toward the corral. Exterior Callahan Ranch corral continuous. Doug rounds the barn and freezes. The pasture gleams crimson. Dozens of cattle lie slaughtered, throats torn, bellies ripped, limbs scattered. Massive cloven prints sink deep into the blood-soaked mud. No other tracks. Flies swarm the carnage. Doug drops to his knees. Elizabeth approaches with a coffee cup.
Honey, you forgot your...
She sees. The cup slips from her hand. She screams. Exterior Callahan Ranch House later that morning. Doug saddles his horse, face carved from stone. Elizabeth, Joshua, and Milo watch.
I'm riding to town back by nightfall.
Elizabeth shakes her head, still dumb.
Josh, keep your eye over your ma and the little ones.
Yes, Papa.
Good lad.
He glances at the dog.
Milo.
Milo barks once. Doug spurs the horse. Milo races alongside as they gallop toward town. Interior Mineral City Sheriff's Office day. Doug bursts in. Deputy Jamie Harper snoozes at the desk, chair tilted back, boots up, hat over his eyes.
Deputy?
Harper jolts. Chair and man crash to the floor. Sheriff James Abrams, 50s, tall and imposing, strides from the back office.
What's the ruckus?
I'm not Harper, I don't think.
Nothing, sir.
Abrams spots Doug, softens.
Oh, Doug, what brings you here?
Need to talk, Sheriff. Something.
He searches for words.
Massacred my entire herd one night.
You see it happen?
No, just heard it. Sounded like demons screaming straight out of hell. Went out at dawn and
We'll ride up and take a look. I'll fetch Doc.
ain't no doctor and gonna fix him.
When it comes to figuring out what kills like that, he's the best we got.
Abrams grabs his hat and leads Doug and a sheepish Harper out the door.
Yay! All right. Wow. Well, I think the more you rewrite it, the better it gets. I thought these pages were pretty good. I like, we have the artifact, the bone flute, which brings Cannibal to life and sets events in motion. We have people dying. We have clearly some tension, and we know that Doug, or someone at least, has to oppose the cannibal, or else many people are going to die. What do you think, Danny? Danny?
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Diane. Yes, I love the scene where Ruby learned how to play the bone flute.
Yeah.
It was so John Lamont, I couldn't help but love it.
Anything else? All right, tough crowd. All right, Erwin.
It was not incompetent. I have thoughts.
All right.
I didn't realize that I had participated in a reading of this, I guess, months ago until you just mentioned it. Someone just mentioned that this is a further draft, but so it was all fresh to me when I experienced it this time, and I really enjoyed it up until I realized that there was a screaming bull goring everyone. Just because I was like, I'm really wondering where this is going. This is kind of like, we got the MacGuffin going on and everything, and it was really smoothly done, exchanging hands and everything, and I didn't feel like the sex scene with Ruby. I guess I didn't feel that was a John Lamont scene. I felt like it was
You clearly haven't read enough of my work.
No, I've read enough of your work to know what a John Lamont scene is.
Perhaps he was saying it doesn't come to the true perversion degenerate level of most John Lamont sex scenes. This is rather vanilla, I think. Is that what you're
I just felt like I felt like it was a sex in the Old West or the Wild West or whatnot. And but
I am trying to sell this.
Once the once the shock of that this movie is called Carnival. I'm saying it like that because that's not my type of film, right? I'm just like, when I saw that, I was like,
What would make it more your type of film?
Well, when I saw the word carnival, I was just like,
Cannibal.
oh, this is
Cannibal.
cannibal. Oh, I'm sorry, it's cannibal. Okay, it's not. It doesn't eat other bulls, right? Oh, it does eat other.
I mean, it'll eat all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Omnivorous. Yeah.
So yeah. So
Oh my God, John! What if it only ate naked ladies?
Cool.
Well, see, yeah, no. So
that'll be the Skinamax version.
When I saw that word, yeah, it did make me think of, especially when you just said right now, Danny, like it only eats naked women. I automatically think of like Blood-Sucking Freaks, the classic lesbian vampire or whatever it is. Have y'all seen it?
Vampires Lesbos?
Something like that. So, and I was like, but then I got back into it because of the script itself. I was like, I forgot that the movie was called Cannibal. Um, and that there were scenes that were just like gratuitous, like just like gore and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, these kids are, in trouble, and this family, this sincere seeming, non B flick horror film family is in trouble, and I want to see what happens to these people. So yeah, um, that's my actual sincere real experience.
All right, Robert, were you here for?
Yes, yeah. Well, I'd read it before,
All right.
which I tend to do, and it's first of all, it's improved. So congratulations for that. The dialogue isn't gnawing at my feet, so that's good. And I think the progression of it works the best that you've done in the first 10 pages that I've read in every version. And so congratulations on that, because that progression makes it work. And then I'll save the rest for, and in general, it's good. So all that is fine. I'll get to the constructives.
Go ahead.
We're at the end of the line, so we're getting to the constructives now.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. So, okay, I don't think we need to. I don't think you should show the anything of the cannibal except the ravishment that's occurred. If you give it a visualization in the beginning, it'll never exceed that later on.
Yeah.
So the threat needs to be there, in my opinion, of not seeing it, but seeing what it can do, the damage it can do. I leaving his family after this has happened confuses me. It's like, he presumably, has an affection for his family and wouldn't want them to be destroyed and would want to protect them. And so leaving them, is the kind of thing like, let's all get into the wagon and go there. And then maybe they're scared to go back to the, to their ranch, like what's going on, or maybe there's a dark
No,
part of
that
the
makes
road.
sense.
Yeah, or a dark part of the road that they go through, because by the time they get ready to come back, the sun has gone down, the trees are creeping overhead, just short of the flying monkeys, and you've got, a pretty scary scene, that's set up there. That is a good second, fear thing, because we don't know what this thing looks like. It'd be great if they heard some things happening while they get back to the safety of their, purported safety of their ranch. So that's the kind of improvement that I think it would benefit. First of all, the shock of seeing all what the cannibal can do, as opposed to seeing the cannibal itself. And then secondly, the fear that will surround everybody because they haven't seen it. They don't know what does it. And then they get back to, the ranch and then make their next plans to go out and hunt it down. So good. I think you did really good moving it.
All right, Erwin.
I like the idea that that Ruby maybe wakes up, in the morning to find that Mr. Silas or whatever his name is has been gored to death, and like in that this family, and maybe she hears the screeching bison from a distance or something like that. And then maybe this family wakes up to find that all their cattle are like dead, and what they do, right?
Yes.
And I like that idea that we don't know, nobody knows that it's this crazy man killing animal, that they don't know that. Because but a lot of animals used to kill cattle, right? And also I do like the idea that this man, and you might come up with some excuse that Robert is his name. Is that his name? No, it's not his name. Doug. I'm sorry, Robert is the last person that spoke.
I'll play the part.
That Doug has to leave his family. You might come up with some excuse, but I like the idea that Doug leaves and the family is being protected by like two boys with rifles, um, and a woman who gets scared easily. Um, and yeah, so but I like that idea. In the old days, men would often leave their families in terrible situations for one reason or another because that's just how the shit worked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Back before we all lived in a big urban area,
and so but I didn't find that there was a lot of glaring need to change anything. I would just change the name of the movie so that
Fair enough.
so that like a person who's not wanting who's not a person like me is not going to get put off by it like within the first 10 pages or whatnot. Yeah, so
All right, Danny.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying I think your structure is on point here. You sort of got me with like some really inconsistent anachronisms and character stuff that sort of just piled on to be like, yes, this is better, and you successfully set things up to pay off later in a way that's really quite annoying. So,
So even when I'm better, I'm annoying.
I want it to be less annoying, which will make it better. So there's no way to tell that a boat is from a buffalo as compared to like a bull. Just have a picture of a buffalo on it with some other carvings or something like that to make it real fucking obvious. Silas, the peddler, stops being a huckster when he talks to the girl and when he tries to convince the girl to stay with him for the whole month or whatever. I wanted more of that classic American hucksterism because that was an interesting character and you stopped writing him in a way that was interesting. I don't think she would have left her place of work, what I'm presuming is her place of work, to go have sex with a stranger in a field outside of town. That seems terribly unsafe.
Okay.
I have definitely seen enough shows like Deadwood where no, if you're doing that business above the saloon, you keep that business above the saloon.
Yeah, but I can't have cannibal materialize above the saloon.
I don't see why not. He's materializing. It's already magic.
Strippers today.
But then he's
No.
got to.
Things
Then
for
how
less
does
money.
he leave?
So
And then somebody has to build that
No.
set, and then somebody has to destroy that set.
Yeah.
So maybe he just hits on someone on the street after being turned down at the bar. It doesn't have to be a whore. So
It was the fastest way to get where I wanted to be.
yes. Well, again, I want to see more hucksterism and more character out of Silas. With that said, the stuff with Doug was more interesting to me this time because actually you can cut a whole ton of it because I don't think the children ever matter. And I don't think the wife matters very much in the current version because he sort of sets off the plot by showing up in town. So I don't see why you couldn't start that scene in the morning when he makes his coffee, goes outside and sees his entire economic engine is being murdered.
Yeah.
And then reacts to that. That's a much more interesting scene than watching him teach a child how to shoot a gun. And sort of jumping off of like Robert's point, like, yeah, no, everyone get in the wagon. We don't have a business anymore. We need to go talk to the sheriff. Like all of that stuff is still interesting. Having him manage the children who are like, oh, what happened to Bessie? I liked that one. Like her milk was so delicious. Like all of that stuff, right? Layer on the pathos. Is I think the way to do it because okay, fine. Ruby played the bone flute and that was hilarious. And then everybody died is funny. But like, this is still a horror movie, which means people need to react to horrible things. And waking up to find someone, again, literally killed your business is a pretty horrible thing. And these are children that now he probably can't afford to feed, and a wife he can't afford to support. So, like, what are they gonna get in their wagon and go? Like, maybe there's some land you can get in Oklahoma. Like, what's their plan? Like, all of that stuff is fucking fascinating to me. So, the bit with the coffee just like did not make sense logically, anyways, because like I thought this was happening in the middle of the night and not in the morning. Why would he have forgotten his coffee? Oh, I'm sorry, there's an intruder in my house. Let me just get my coffee. That's not how that works. So pick a character in that household whose point of view it is and show them reacting to this scenario is the way to do it. And that's what I'd really like to see from the bit at the farm.
All right. I would like to ditto what Robert was saying, and that I think we see the monster too early. Audiences are engaged with a film if they're trying to figure out things.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if there's a mystery, if there's a question, then they're gonna usually keep watching what the question is. You know, so you know, yeah, it's like if you have an attractive actress, right, and they haven't seen her boobs yet, they might keep watching because they think it's going to happen in the next scene or something. Like, but once you show it, there's less of an impact of showing it as yet. So you want to kind of draw people in by giving hints and I'm gonna show, you know, like Jaws, right? Like they build up, but you don't see the shark until a while. I don't know exactly how long, but a while. But you know it's a shark. But here, I was thinking when we were reading it, I'm like, I would love it if you could write this in such a way that people who love werewolves think it might be a werewolf, or people who love zombies think it could be a zombie, right? You know, we can show the mayhem and give some hints of what is mayheming them, but showing the full on here's the cannibal with his breath-stealing ability, I feel is too early, and thereby kills the mystery, and then people don't have the compelling reason to find out what it is. And
That's interesting. That's an
I've got
interesting
an
point
idea.
that you could do is have everybody maybe okay, imagine this. The slaughter has taken place. They gathers everybody in the wagon and they go to town. And as they're going into town, each one expresses who they think could have done it. It must have been, you know, the Wilcoxes down the road because they're just, you know, they're animal people. No, it was the Indian tribe because they, you know, they're hungry and they're angry at us, or you know, or it was some mysterious thing that a kid makes up, and they all come up with, you know, some sort of explanation as to who could have done this because they don't know who did it, and so their imaginations run wild, which would, I think, encourage the audience to try to answer the question, who could have done this? What could have done this? That's an intriguing approach.
That's straight out of Predator, and it's a great formula.
Yeah.
It occurs to me also that if you want to show girl's soul being sucked out, you can also show it as.
I'm just thinking of John Lamont writing that.
I mean, he did, or whatever, the life force. You don't need to show it happening. You can also show, like, if they're going to go to the doctor who's also being the morgue, he can also have that corpse there. Oh, this happened last night too. Right? We just found her on the street. She was supposed to be at work in the brothel. Somehow she like ran out the fire escape and just died suddenly. And like she was only like 17 years old. Look at how wrinkly and horrible her skin is. Like all of that stuff still gives you the mystery and still saying something like that has happened without having to actually show it on page 4. You can tie those things together really quickly.
If you're going to have a discussion about what this could be amongst the characters, you know, typically this might be a place where you drop some hint that is tied into perhaps an underlying theme regarding this this bull, right? Is it taking revenge on the part of the local, indigenous people? Is it, is it the rage of thousands of homesteaders who've been tricked into trying to live off a dirt scratch? Um, you know, so that's my suggestion. For some reason, Poltergeist came to mind because it was about a family that had bought a house on an Indian burial ground.
Yep, sacred ground. Yeah.
And I don't think they discussed it much at the beginning of the film, but I'm sure there was some hint about something. And yeah, I don't know if we really left the film with the idea of hey, don't mess with other people's holy stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, Poltergeist was a little weird in that it starts off and there's a ghost in the house coming through the TV that abducts the daughter, and then they bring in the psychic, and then they have the whole kind of exorcism, whatever you want to call it, and then she declares the house clean, and then they move, onto an old Indian burial ground, and then yeah, so Ghost Scene 1 isn't, I don't think, directly related to Ghost Scene 2, and whatever.
But anyways, yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying. I guess forget Poltergeist. I think this would be a good place to drop some, half a sentence about something or another. So,
well, yeah. I mean, so tease the reveal a bit more. Also, I want there to be more of a sense of danger, right? Because if he doesn't know what's really after him, but he can get the sense that he's being stalked. He can get he can see the violence. I want him to kind of feel in danger, and I want him to, be very concerned about his family and that they need to stay safe. And, you be quiet here in the basement, and I'm going to go into town and I'm going to find somebody, and we're going to have to, fix whatever problem we got out here. And that he's kind of moving into town, but he's looking over his shoulder and he's very concerned. Because if he's concerned, well, then maybe the audience is concerned. And this was a note that I heard about J horror pictures, Japanese horror pictures. They will tend to have like the ghost or something show up in daytime on the train or something, like in a setting where you would not expect the ghost to be, and then that reinforced to the audience, well, there is no safe space really. And I would like there to be a bit more of that. It helps build tension. Anyway, there you go. All right. You want to? I rewrote Lords of Iron. You wanna read my Lords of Iron? No one's saying anything.
Yes, we do. That's
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Why we're here.
Or,
Yeah.
we've also been here when the script we don't want to read, and we still read those.
Well, here we go. All right. Who wants to narrate?
Oh, I'll narrate. I don't know if my mic is sounding good or not.
It's much better now.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and do it. But I've got a very small screen because I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Panel one.
Like
one.
somebody else to narrate.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can
I'll do,
narrate.
I'll do characters. We'll find one.
Page 1, 4 panels. Panel 1. My screen is large, but my eyes are.
Preston's just not showing
Here we
that
are.
much.
There we go.
four panels on page 1, panel 1. A large one. The thrusters on Lilia Danovich's duo suit guide her and her wounded paddle partner, Sergei, minus his suit's right leg and left arm, towards a pressurized recovery pod in the Widowmaker's deployment bay, where we last saw them at the end of issue 1. Panel 2, central panel. Inside her power armor, Lilia communicates the urgency of the situation.
Violate the law. We must save lives. You tend to Sergei Ivanov while I search for survivors.
Panel 3, center panel. Pilot Vladimir Frolov speaks to her from the cockpit.
Understood, Knight Danovich.
Panel 4, background. Sergei floats by a nearby medical pod, currently closed.
I'm sorry, I'm getting. All right.
That was the background. The foreground is Lilia flies past the closing door of the launch bay back out into space.
Sergei's bleeding into the vacuum. Blood turned to foam, dead in seconds with no help.
Metapod triage protocol will demand we reserve treatment for those most likely to survive and reject Ivanov on that basis.
Metapod, supersede triage mode and admit Sergei Ivanov.
Authorization recorded.
Page 2 with 4 panels. In her cockpit, Lilia directs her computer.
FP27, display all data from squad members along with life probability.
Gathering data.
Panel 2, Lilia's HUD POV imposed on the field of stars sit 5 green boxes illustrating where survivors may be found with a percentage under each box. Volkov, 92%. Urkova, 87%. Petrov, 62%. Novak, 26%. Popov, 1%.
Do-do-do.
Penciler note, scatter the green boxes throughout the star field and don't place them in descending order from left to right.
5 squad members located.
Nitrikova, do you read? Status report.
Panel 3, Lilia flies in open space at full thrust.
Sorry.
Nitrikova, do you read?
Panel 4, insert into panel 3. In her cockpit, Lilia shows her shock at her friend's peril.
Alert received. Knight Urkova's suit suffered integrity failure. Atmosphere venting into space. Loss of propulsion. Drifting away from Widowmaker transport at a velocity of 12 meter per second.
Katya, hold on.
Page 3 with 4 panels. Panel 1, foreground. Wearing the coveralls of a United Earth Defense Force pilot, Vladimir, male, mid-30s, brown hair, enters the now pressurized launch bay through a door he just opened, carrying a medical kit. Still in his power armor, Sergei convulses as he floats above the floor. The stump of his right leg and left arm bleed slightly close to the middle, but ice crystals composed of Sergei's blood cover and protect most of the wound. Background. The medical pod opens to reveal a examination table and MEDI, the vaguely humanoid medical android who features a mostly white plastic body with a red cross across the middle and an expressive face to aid communication during times of high stress.
Knight Sergei Ivanov, sound off.
Greetings.
Pilot.
Go ahead.
May I render assistance?
Panel 2. Anchored to the floor by magnetic boots, Vladimir stands by Sergei's floating armored body. He withdraws a futuristic wrench from his medical case. Medi comes to stand beside him.
We will need to remove his armor to treat him.
Absolutely. Let's get started on that.
Panel 3. Having opened the faceplate of Sergei's body armor, Vladimir's face reveals his growing panic as he attempts to aid his fallen comrade. A bloody foam streams from Sergei's mouth, nose, and bulging eyes as his death spasms continue. Medi looks to Vladimir with a sympathetic face as he tries to explain the cold logic of the situation.
I'm sorry, but I must caution you against treating Knight Ivanov. He stands little chance of survival. Also, treating barotrauma requires simulated gravity, which may prevent other wounded from entering the launch bay.
Knight Danovich authorized it, as do I. We must try to save who we can.
Panel 4. Medi cradles Sergei's body into his arms.
Cradles.
his body into
Yeah,
his
got
arms
it.
as he walks towards the medical pod's examination table, surrounded by an array of instruments and surgical devices, which include a medical gas mask for administering oxygen.
Now admitting Ivanov, Sergei, accessing medical records. Please attach the oxygen mask to his face as I place him on the table in the Trendelenburg position.
4 panels on page 4. Foreground. Vladimir places an oxygen mask on Sergei's face as Medi stands at the head of the examination table. A scanner, represented by a powerful light emitted from examination table, like a photocopy machine, gathers data beginning at base of Sergei's body. Background: the medical pod rises from the bottom of the launch bay, hoisted by an arm connected to a large shaft designed to allow the pod to rotate around the shaft, which both also rise from the floor.
Gas mist currently 100% O2. Conducting
Oxygen.
bioscan. Please brace for simulated gravity.
Panel 2. Oriented so that the centrifugal force will act to push everyone to the medical pod's floor. The medipod rotates on its arm around the shaft. As Medi stands calmly, one hand on Vladimir, one hand on Sergei on the table.
0.2 G achieved. Coming up to speed.
Panel 3. The survey complete. The computer superimposes diagnostic images on top of Sergei's body, showing large gas bubbles in his heart and brain as Medi and Vladimir look on.
Now experiencing 1G. Diagnosing patient Ivanov with heart failure, massive stroke, gas bubble embolism in major organs, recovery unlikely. Shall we begin treatment?
At once.
In this case, physical extraction of the gas pockets, followed by cardiac simulation, the best path for treatment showing less than 1% chance of full recovery. Your assistance will be required. Shall we begin?
Da.
Panel 4. Vladimir watches and holds Sergei's body steady as a Medi pushes a large syringe needle into Sergei's chest.
Please hold patient steady, attempting extraction of gas embolism from right ventricle.
4 panels on page 5. Lilia flies towards the distant Widowmaker, cradling Katya's damaged duo suit, which continues to leak atmosphere.
Don't talk. Breathe shallow. Almost there.
Panel 2. In her cockpit, Lilia tries to comfort Katya.
Frolov!
Panel 3. Speed lines show the medical pod rotating on its arm around the shaft. Inside the pod, Frolov holds Sergei's head to the table as Medi uses a drill to bore into the back of Sergei's skull, causing blood spray to spray over both of them.
How's the treatment?
Oh, this is Vladimir. I changed him from first name to last name.
Okay. Slow going. His heart stopped. We will still need 3 cranial embolisms. Okay. We will still need 3 cranial embolisms to remove before attempting CPR.
Oh, yeah.
You still need to remove.
Yeah, we still have 3 cranial embolisms to remove before attempting CPR. There we go.
Vladimir has an update. Slow going. His heart stopped. We still have 3 cranial embolisms to remove before attempting CPR.
How long to finish the procedure?
Panel 4. Against the blurry background of the hull, as the metapod continues its motion, Frolov holds Sergei's head against the table as Medi pushes the needle of a syringe into his brain.
Extracting second embolism. Estimate start of CPR in 10 minutes.
And what's his chance of survival?
There remains a less than 1% chance of ever regaining consciousness and an additional less than 1 in 1,000 chance of recovering full neural function or cognition.
What's Knight Stanovich's ETA?
Scanner data suggests 192 seconds.
Page 6 has 5 panels. In the first one, against the blurry background of the bulkhead in relative motion, Frolov gives an uncomfortable order to Medi as the android continues to bore another hole into Sergei's skull.
Medi, I'm ordering you to terminate treatment of Knight Ivanov and prepare to treat the incoming wounded.
Negative. Once admitted, protocol safeguards require treatment until chances of restoring lung function become less than 3 in 1,000.
Panel 2, Furious. Vladimir faces off versus Medi, who continues to drill into the back of Sergei's skull, spraying blood over both of them.
And that's absurd. You can't let Katya suffocate while we drill more holes into this corpse.
Knight Danovich.
Panel 3, in her cockpit, Lilia continues her rescue mission.
Report on the status of your wounded knight.
I bring Katya Rykova back to the transport. She's losing atmosphere and will suffocate if you don't open the launch bay.
What's her suit's interior pressure?
Panel 4, Lilia curses in fury as she scans her HUD display for Katya's vital signs, which are electronically superimposed over the visual of her suit.
It's pronounced HUD display, by the way.
Okay.
I read 0.5 atmospheres.
Yes, this is a live read, NZ Guy 933.
Yep, it's what we do every week.
I don't know if that's not the script.
No, this is how we do it. Yeah, we're the actors. Yeah.
In the 5th panel, Medi prepares to drive another syringe into the 3rd freshly drilled hole in the back of Sergei's head as Vladimir Frolov considers violence.
Hardly fatal. If we work quickly, we can depressurize the bay and recover Knight Urkanov within 15 minutes.
And if she loses atmosphere too fast?
Then we can abort here to save her life.
Boys et moi.
I mean, a hard shove of the guy on the table, and it's all over. I mean, then he goes to 0 in 1,000 chance of survival.
Yeah,
Sure.
Medi won't give a shit. You know?
Yeah.
All right, we present the 4 panels of page 7. Frolov watches helplessly as Medi drills the 4th and last hole into the back of Sergei's head.
You're a machine. You're supposed to save lives and follow orders.
My programming is quite clear on triage circumstances. Once admitted, a patient can only be abandoned if dead or if it will cost the life of another.
Panel 2. Frolov looks to leap off of the rotating medical pod, but is too hazardous. Medi looks to him, but continues boring to the back of Sergei's head.
I'm getting off of this thing.
Pilot Frolov, please do not attempt to exit the pod while it is in motion. You stand a high chance of sustaining life-threatening injury.
Panel 3. Vladimir picks up a scalpel off of the tray and considers how best to snuff the last spark of life from Sergei's corpse. Medi brandishes the bloody medical drill and interposes itself between Vladimir and the table. The robots face a red menacing devil designed to frighten the unsuspecting.
Fine.
The robot's face is
That's the robot's face, yeah.
Robot's face, red menacing devil design. Fine. I'll kill him if that's why you need me to save Katya's life.
Pilot Frolov, I am authorized for violent responses to any attempt to injure a patient.
Panel 4. Foreground. Brandishing the medical drill, this menacing version of Medi squares off against Vladimir holding the scalpel. Background, Sergei's corpse rests on the examination table.
Wait, so he's a corpse now?
Yeah.
He was always a corpse. I mean, he's dead. I mean, they can attempt CPR, but I mean, like his heart is stopped. I mean, you know, they say like you brought back from the dead. Maybe they can restart his heart, but that's why he has such a low, chance of like recovery.
Okay, but it's still within the gamut of recovery.
I wouldn't call him a corpse if he's still revivable, but that's
Okay,
just me.
that's what I wrote.
Put the scalpel down. Put the scalpel down now.
There you go. Put that cookie down.
Okay. Page 8. Panels 4. In her full duo suit power armor, Lilia cradles catches damaged suit in her arms as she hovers outside the launch bay of the transport.
What the hell is going on in there?
Panel 2. Changing tactics, Medi's face returns to one designed to project a calming response in the viewer during times of stress.
Pilot Vladimir Frolov, every moment you delay me can be measured in the cost of human lives. Now put the scalpel down and allow me to return to my work.
Panel 3. Defeated, Vladimir puts the scalpel back on the tray as Medi turns back to assist Sergei's corpse.
As requested.
Thank you.
Do you require my assistance?
Nothing further from you.
Panel 4. Foreground, Vladimir stands stewing in his impotent rage. Background, Medi returns to boring a hole, yet again, in the back of Sergei's skull.
Night, Danovich. I expect to begin CPR in 260 seconds.
Page 9 has 4 panels. Series of panels. Each in their cockpit, Katya and Lilia converse while they float in space. I imagine Lilia's panel on the left of the page and Katya's on the right. Lettered
note. Yeah, should be
letterer note.
whatever. He's lettered.
The dialogue boxes and float
Should be allow the dialogue boxes to float.
to
There we go.
float into
Allow.
Yeah.
Allow.
Yeah. There
In
we
the
go.
beginning.
all.
Yeah, allow. There we go.
Allow the dialogue boxes to float into the middle to make the conversation easier to follow. I see. Panel 1. Lilia tries to keep Katya calm.
Did you hear that, Katya?
Panel 2. In her cockpit, Katya does her best to stay calm.
I heard.
That sound effect is going to be so distracting. Hush, I don't want you to talk.
But you asked me a question.
Panel 3. Lilia chuckles in spite of herself.
Duh, I did.
Also, not talking conserves oxygen to CO2 ratio. Not really that important when it's all venting into space.
Duh, did not think of that.
Panel 4. Katya gains her courage and seeks to inspire.
Shh. I appreciate you saving my life, Ilya, but we're just sitting here waiting for the bay to open. You should leave me behind and go find another warrior. I'll be safe floating here and have enough thrust. Should be thrust. There we go. Thrust. To fly into the bay when the time comes.
You sure you'll be okay?
Of course. Every life matters out here.
Very well.
Page 10 has 3 panels. Lilia flies back into space.
FP27, return to display of squad members and life probability.
Updating.
Panel 2, in her cockpit, she looks at her HUD display for the next survivor. Imposed on the field of stars sit 3 green boxes illustrating where survivors may be found, with a percentage under each box. Volkov, 84%, Petrov, 41%, Novak, 17%.
Night, Mark.
Volkov, I come for you next.
Panel 3, Lilia's suit flies through space at maximum thrust.
Report your status.
Anyway, there's 10 pages. So that's the new Lords of Iron 2.
It's good. I like it.
I added a med pod, a medical robot, so we.
It gives it a little bit more personality
Yeah,
and character, which I think is a good addition. And you did the whole thing with her rescuing Katya, and the scene with them floating outside was cute. And I feel like that really worked too. So
I did quite like the bit with Katya near the end there. The robot was interesting, and really changes the dynamic of the whole thing. And you definitely swung for the bleachers with the tension in the medical part of the scene. So that was really interesting to read.
John, have you gone? Or
Erwin, go ahead.
I really like the conflict with the metapod or
the Medi, yes.
Medi. Yes, it reminded me of some of the sort of conflicts or the discussions in Isaac Asimov's iRobot series.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm really into those types of kind of philosophical conflicts. And of course, this is very timely because, today's AI and robots are trying to incorporate, ethics into their systems. So,
Well, the programmers are trying to do that. The robots are just
right.
regurgitating whatever data they're fed.
Right. Yeah. So that's my main. I was really into that conflict over what to do next. So
Yeah, I was going to point out exactly the same thing, that you've increased the relevance of that conflict between a programmed approach or a disciplined approach, and I think it echoes from any war movie that anybody's seen where somebody's been ordered to go in and do and tell his troops to go in and go up, climb up that hill to that machine gun nest and knock it out, knowing that it's like a death march in all likelihood, at least for a few of them. And it has that feel to it for me in that conflict. I think Vladimir needs to be, not just because I read that part, but I think he needs to be increased in his challenge of the not like, why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing that and doing this? And then Medi always has an answer that's rather almost inhuman in, I'm going to take this approach, but that's not going to make him feel better, or we've got to take care of this. And so it's almost the emotional feeling of Vladimir, who's still human, and Medi, who has had stripped away any issues of where panic might involve or empathy might involve a change or a change of priority of what might be done. And I'd like to see more of that conflict, exactly to what Erwin was pointing out. The difference between a programmed response, an algorithmic response, if you will, against a human response. And you've gone so far to get it to this place from the last writing of it that I'd like you to see it take a little bit further, because that's really interesting. It's also very timely, again, to Erwin's point. So that's all good stuff.
No one commented on the artificial gravity, but that's how you would actually do it. Rotating.
No,
around
we
the...
talked about that
was
last time.
already fine last.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We covered that before. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We talked about that in depth. And
all right.
Yeah.
All right. How could it be made better?
Okay. So Medi, I imagined Medi, and I think this is a me problem, as like that clock creature from the Loki show, or like an animated mascot type thing, like a weird, cute robot that's like trying too hard to be friendly. And I think it really threw me off on the drama in that scene.
Oh, I did not imagine him that way.
I mean, Medi's there is a choice. Like, I feel like that scene worked fine without a human-faced robot, and just with mechanical arms. So I think, jumping off of Robert's point, I think it would be hilarious if you ran like something through ChatGPT to get like Medi's responses. Like, I understand how you might feel that way, but and like get really patronizing with it. Because it's not super sassy, but it's very like obviously modern AI speech. And I think that might like get the point across there a little bit better. And it felt last time like Lily, I guess like Lily cared more about getting everyone back instead of just Katya.
Sure.
Which like I get, but I mean that puts her in a weird situation where she's floating around. And we've put all the drama in the hands of the secondary character threatening to kill someone on the operating table, which is cool, but we're not seeing Lily like push to her limits in this scene at all, in this fragment of the story at all. Like she's like I feel like she gets a little bit passive near the end.
Yeah, can I go next? Because I have a different opinion to that exact point, Danny.
Go for it.
Okay.
We're all adults here.
Yeah.
You can fight with John Irwin.
Well, yeah, and I'm not scared either. But I'll tell you, it's that's something that actually intrigued me. I was going to talk about it, but it seems a little abstract at this stage. But it's I like the dynamic of the human, the pilot, who we know is a very professional soldier and all this kind of stuff, worrying about his, the people, the humans on the table against this robot who's, mechanized to a super efficiency, lacking a certain compassion, while all we see with Katya and Lilia is compassion. And I love that contrast, and that they're in different spaces, although close to each other. One's kind of gently orbiting around it, and the other one's on this manic rotating thing that he wants to jump off of, even risking death. I don't know. I really like that contrast. So I'm going to really say I think we have opposite opinions on how that worked, and I liked the potential for it. I don't think it's totally smooth yet, where I'd like to see it, but it certainly got the potential to go and be very powerful juxtapositioning of human emotion and on display within the same drama moment. So,
and I don't know if I had noticed, but when she sees the HUD, on her HUD display, all the life probabilities, she doesn't go to the lead probability, nor does she go to the bottom one. She goes to Katya because that's the person she cares about the most.
And without saying that, just goes there. It just happens, right? And that's human. That's human. It's if you will, it's almost like not quite as dramatic, but similar to Sophie's Choice. You've got two kids, you can only take one. Holy shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, everyone? Or anyone else constructive. Go ahead.
Coming off of that discussion there, I think, it would be interesting to have Katya say like, hey, so and so is about to die over there. I can see the numbers too.
Yeah,
Lilia. Why don't rescue me and that have that bit of conflict play out there and show just show the humanity, however flawed it might be, and so that might be interesting. And then on the in the Medi side of it, on the surgery table there, I think the AI type of conflict could be carried a bit further than what we saw in like 2001 and maybe what we were seeing in other places. Maybe is it Sergey or is it Vladimir? Vladimir.
Sergey is the guy on the table.
The guy who's trying to save Sergey is not save Sergey. He's
actually trying to kill Sergey. Yeah.
Right. Is Vladimir? Is that right? Yeah. Frolov. So Frolov might maybe he decides that he's going to go to the root philosophical programming of this AI. Maybe there's some sort of mechanism in which a human can actually sort of quickly, through another AI, reprogram the Medi AI and take on his personality or something like this, and in his ethos, and maybe that screws things up even worse. I don't know, but it's just, and this probably throws the complete pacing of your story off, right? Like maybe you didn't want to get into this huge conflict with between this AI bot and this human, and over like how AI is programmed. But I think what I would like to see is something that goes beyond what we've already seen before. Like let's take it to another level. Can we get to the various quote unquote personality of this AI, or this the basic philosophy of the AI, and change that and see what happens. And also, I'd like to see a little bit of the backstory. I know I didn't get. I don't think I saw the earlier pages. So I think maybe it's just me, but because maybe I didn't see those back pages, those earlier pages, I would like to see a little bit of the backstories interjected, or not interjected, but sort of emerge out of the dialogue or the interactions on these pages. Like maybe Frolov is like, this Sergey, I don't know, he rescued me on Mercury. Of course I want to save Sergey's life. I love this man.
Okay.
But for God's sakes, let him die. This is what he would want,
It's one of those classic, like, his father helped me in the academy.
Yeah, something. I think that would just, for me, it would add a deeper level of drama to the story.
Yeah, there's a scene like that in Troy with Brad Pitt killing the young warrior. He uses that little hammer to break that vertebrae in the neck. Oh, geez, I think it was Troy. Yeah, but it was that pathos that was taking place of not having him die in an indignant way, but like as a ending his misery sort of thing.
As a sacrifice for the others.
I think at the sacrifice of the others who could be saved was literally the case. In other words, there was no saving him. Doctor goes to
the conflict of the scene is Medi's logic versus Vladimir's human pragmatism.
Yep.
And if the scene opens with Vladimir just going, well, Sergey's dead, like, don't even bother, well, then we don't have that conflict, so like they have to at least go down the road of let's try to treat him in order for that to develop.
I like that. I like that his position changed.
Okay, how about this then?
Okay.
Why don't we have Sergey or Vladimir be surprised to some degree when the pod has to start rotating, and he's like, oh shit, I made this decision, and now it's got this horrible consequence of blocking off the entrance to the shuttle bay.
Yeah.
Which, like, Vladimir needs to be unhappy about the gravity addition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's the real problem.
Okay. All right, so I guess I could do that.
Idiot put this right beside the front door, and now no one can open the goddamn door.
Well, okay, but you need a lot of space to run a centrifuge.
No, but like that's a real problem that now he has to think about logistically.
Yeah.
And the problem isn't can we save the guy? There's probably another med pod in there somewhere. For some reason, they chose this one. Now they have this problem.
This is the only med pod.
Sure. But like it's also in front of the front door.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think it makes sense from an engineering point of view because you do need gravity to treat a lot of situations because that's how our bodies evolved. And in this particular case, because you have these gas bubble embolisms, like gas will only rise to like a certain point or form a bubble where you can get it with a needle in gravity. Otherwise, it has no reason to be anywhere.
Oh, no, okay. I'm with you on the gravity thing. Okay. The someone put a rotating med pod in front of the front door thing is hilariously bad design.
I mean, you say that, but it requires a lot of space. And like, where else are you going to put the launch bay? I mean,
well, it's either the front or the back of the launch bay. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be one of those two places, really.
Where there's damage. There's damage that caused it to be there.
Well, yeah, but I just think from an engineering point of view, like that, it made sense to me. But also, it creates the conflict of with the simulated gravity, you can't open the launch bay.
Okay, just make it a rule. That's
Well,
your
yeah,
world.
I mean,
it makes-
or you could have a very dramatic scene where someone needs to like fly a mech suit through, you know, the gap where the pod is not traversing very quickly.
Sure, but you would also like you're venting it into space, and they need atmosphere. So there's that.
Well, surely the pod has its own atmosphere.
I mean, I didn't design it that way, but
I mean,
I
if
suppose
it was going to be
I didn't think of it that
traveling at the kind of speed you want it to be traveling, you also don't want wind in there.
way. Yeah, I mean, all right.
So I assume it seals off and has, you know, a HEPA filter and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Right. A HEPA filter is pretty basic antimicrobials.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't think we've seen so much of the interior of the ship that like the med pod being in the way for the front door is like a huge design problem that has got continuity issues.
Right.
But like, ooh boy, that's a design decision. Like, should someone like complain about like, oh, the bigwigs back on Earth tried to save money by putting it here, and now look.
I don't know where else you'd put it on a transport. I mean, this isn't a space.
Yeah,
station.
but if I were a grunt and trying to get rescued, I would complain about this.
All right, fair enough.
Right. And, you know, Russians are pretty good at complaining aloud.
They are.
So it's a way to draw attention to the world building and all this other stuff and what people are thinking in a way that you might not do with people with more American mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opportunity for like building some world building in here, right?
Right.
Like, oh, you know, the Americans kept cheaping out on this, or like, you know, blame the Tesla Corporation for only being able to install it here, or whatever you want to do, and have it be like that kind of thing. Be like, oh, fucking Elon Musk, you know, the zombie head of Elon Musk is fucking us over again, and then like get on with the scene. Is like a hundo P legit here,
Fair enough.
or whatever world building is appropriate.
Yeah.
It also occurs to me, based on Erwin's comment, that you may want the robot voice in Lily's suit to give like a sneaky little recap of what happened last episode.
Okay.
Like, oh, 4 pilots surviving after attack by V's.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. That way you sort of sneak in a little bit of what happened last week.
Okay.
Because I think Erwin is right in like being a little bit lost. And since we can never expect people to go back and read, we have to remind them what they already read.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Good note. So I'll get to work. Hopefully we'll have more pages next week.
I'm looking forward to this being even more extra.
Thanks. I think, you know, it's coming together. I like it. You know, fighting like a medical drama set it, you know, like a medical drama in space becomes interesting because then I start to think about, okay, how would you get simulated gravity? And I'm like, oh, you'd have to swing them around. I'm like, okay, put a centrifuge there. And, you know, I like
it might be cool to have a page where you see the surgical table and that everybody's sort of moving around in a circle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, a cross section of that room, and you're watching as from panel to panel, they go from, you know, 6 o'clock to you know 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock and so forth.
Or potentially we could have like a big splash page where we're kind of seeing the med pod like at various points in the circle of the conversation of the two people. Potentially we could do that.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can do like a radial design with the conversation, and like the robot's fucking wordy enough.
Right.
So like that's not a big deal. And then just show like speed lines in between like the 3 or 4 instances that you actually are going to be showing the dialogue for.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
All right.
Do we have time for 5 pages?
Sure. What you got?
Well, they're in the whatchamacallit,
Okay.
the scripts only
Sure.
um,
Open up.
page. Yeah, it's called. I guess I'm calling it Robot Girl and the Actor now. It's just.
I don't see anything.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you gotta upload it.
I thought I uploaded it. Oh, where do I need to upload it to?
Scripts only.
Scripts only.
Yeah, that's what I thought I did. Let me see.
Because I don't see it in writer mentoring. By the way, I really loved that tweet that I posted where Josh Lucas admitted the cast of American Psycho originally mocked Christian Bale and said, "Man, he's blowing this role." Because to me, it's like it's one of those things. If you don't know how it will look until you actually see it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't see the script.
Oh. Let me see. Oh, I think I needed to press enter.
There
Okay.
we go. Robot and yeah, that's the thing about machines. They don't do it until you press the key.
Yep. Yep. Showing my age here. Now let me get back to the StreamYard here. Here we are.
All right, and then there. Okay. Robot and the Girl by Irwin Tang.
It's literally
Robot
called
Girl
Robot Girl and the
Actor.
Actor.
All right.
Who was John?
Interior conversation shop night. Robot Girl is what we will call her. She is skinny and somewhat attractive. Strong cheekbones, no makeup except for a red square painted or tattooed just beneath her right eye. She's 25 and quiet and shy or aloof or withdrawn or all three.
Good evening, customer.
She is ringing up items at a supermarket. She avoids eye contact with a handsome customer.
What is a supermarket? I thought it was a conversation shop.
My bad. It's a market of some sort. Yeah.
And how are you doing tonight?
She does not look at him, but rather she looks forward blankly.
I see. You got that stare going on, right?
Handsome customer pays by credit card as he hands him the receipt. She smiles, a strange, forced smile.
Thank you, and come again.
Handsome customer hesitates and then turns to leave.
Thanks.
He turns back towards her.
Are you a robot?
Robot Girl seems to think about it. She turns her face very robotically towards handsome customer. She offers her hand. He takes her hand to shake it, but she slowly squeezes his hand in an evenly distributed fashion. She lets go of his hand. She does not divert her blank stare from his quizzical eyes. Exterior parking lot night. RG looks like a tired human being as she loops towards her self-driving car. She gets in and orders it.
Navigate home.
RG watches the people in the parking lot as her car drives away. She seems to be studying them. Her phone device chimes in.
Number 23 called.
Divert with auto voice.
Exterior apartment breezeway night. The breezeway is lit by Christmas lights and lamps. Zhang, a good Chinese man in his late 20s or early 30s, carries a small suitcase towards the apartment on the left. He takes a single key out of his pocket, accidentally pulling his Chinese passport out. He opens the door and enters. His face looks haggard and exhausted. Interior Chang's apartment night. The apartment is completely empty. Zhang lies down on the carpet and stares into darkness.
What are you doing here, 笨蛋？你吃了吗？
I'm glad you knew what that was. Exterior apartment breezeway night. Robot Girl walks up to a food delivery man and watches him as he places an order in her neighbor Zhang's doorstep. He looks at her, but she is more focused on the food order. He walks away and she opens the food bag. She opens the styrofoam container and smells the Chinese food. The door opens. Zhang looks down on Robot Girl, who immediately stands up.
Hello.
Hello.
Silence.
Are you hungry?
No.
Do you want my food?
Silence.
You can take it. I have plenty of food in the refrigerator.
No, you do not.
RG stands up and turns around her apartment door, right across from Zhang. She grabs the doorknob, and Zhang watches her.
I just got here. My name is.
She shuts her apartment door behind her. Interior Robot Girl's apartment, night continuous. Robot Girl stands before the closed door, breathing somewhat faster. A drop of precipitation rolls over her eye, but she does not react to it at all. Interior is Zhang's apartment, night. Zhang sits on the floor and opens his takeout food containers.
Hello, my name is Zhang. I'm from China. Baby, I'm a star. You might not know it now. Baby, yes, I are.
Zhang grabs a pair of chopsticks. He looks around. He starts plucking imaginary flies out of the air with his chopsticks, a la Mr. Miyagi of the Karate Kid. His phone lights up.
Alexa, did you find a free rice cooker like I asked you to?
Not yet, dear. I have a job for you.
Here we go.
An acting job?
Yes. Do you want to play a dog?
What?
I have a paying job for you to stand in for an AI-generated dog, Mr. Zhang.
What? What do you mean? Is this real? What do I have to do?
Get on your knees.
Get
There you
on my knees?
Get on your knees now.
Love it. Domed by Alexa. All right. Zhang stares at the phone. He slowly drops to his knees and then to his hands too.
Bark.
Zhang stares at the phone. He opens his mouth to bark and then stops. He sits up.
No. I'm a person.
He doesn't sound certain.
I'm a person.
Okay, I was just checking. Just training.
The phone goes black.
Okay. Yeah, Zhang picks up the phone and cocks it to throw it. Cocks his arm to throw it. Oh, I'm sorry. Training?
Zhang picks up the phone and cocks his arm to throw it.
That's the end of it.
And then we have Zhang.
No, that's the end of it. This is just the detritus that
Okay.
was left over on the page there.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, I thought, it was interesting. I always like it when like Alexa turns into a dog, like get on your knees and bark. Go. Well, hey, I'm a sucker for any scene where we got that going on. We have Robot Girl who apparently doesn't need food nor drink. She's cute, but I'm not even sure why she's cute because she doesn't seem particularly interested in relationships. But she is hanging. I'm not sure if Robot Girl is human or artificial, but either way, she's she's interesting. Hopefully, she's going to come back into our story at some point in the future. Danny.
I liked how Robot Girl was sweaty. So that was interesting. A girl who was acting like a robot. And that was entirely superseded by the brilliant scene in which Alexa domed the random character. Which was by far in your top 5 best scenes you've ever written.
John.
Yeah, it was very interesting world and characters and story, and yeah, I gotta, ditto everybody else on the Alexa Dom barking scene. That was pretty good.
There you go. Robert.
Okay.
I think a year on a high note, boys.
Yeah, really. Okay, I agree. I like this, and I think there's a lot more that you could do with it. I would love to see more. Okay, let me preface it with this: Robot Girl. We don't know. To the point Preston brings up, we don't know if she's human or she's a robot. And I'm thinking like, the girls who like to be really heavy goth girls, where they want to be a vampire and they do a lot to make you feel like they are. And I mean,
about those girls.
Right, exactly. And but you never let anybody know about that. Right. It's there, and the little clues are there. She sweats. Well, maybe she's a robot that sweats, or maybe she's a human who wants to be a robot.
Everyone loves to be a robot.
And I think that this is something that's absolutely intriguing to keep as a continuing theme throughout, the story that you're proposing. Have to agree with everybody on the Alexa taking over the guy. You gave it a world where that's possible because it's, his agent apparently, and the agent has the name of, Alexa, which is something you command, and now suddenly Alexa is something that's commanding you. We all expect that to happen someday to be there. It's a threat that hangs over the whole thing that's going on. So you have two working mysteries already. You have the mystery: is Robot Girl just like really out there goth girl type, or is it a robot? And is Alexa, really an Alexa, or is Alexa just another woman who is, playing out a role that, wants to be in charge? Yeah, I like the world you created. Plenty of confusion. You've done this before in one of the previous things that we've read, and I like it. I like that kind of confusion.
How could you make it better, Robert?
Well, I would straighten it out. It needs to be fleshed out, certainly in the a reason to be in that store in the first place. He needs to be confronted with other things in the store, like how to shop for stuff, how to select things, how to figure out what the price is. And it can't just be that one exchange at the cash register with the robot girl. It has to be set up so that exchange with the robot girl is a continuation of his confusion, because clearly this dude is confused. He's getting on the ground barking, for Christ's sake. The other thing is I'd love for you, if you could do this, where you keep it in those two worlds. The only places we ever see him in are in his apartment building with the different doors and the different people or robots that he confronts, and in the store that he has to go to for sustenance. And if you can contain it like that, you actually have the potential for it to be, the kind of film that people, are willing to fund these days. So, I think you have a lot going for it.
I want this to be clear. Like the customer in the beginning is not Zong.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
All right. So, out of curiosity, how does the Robot Girl customer scene relate to Zong and Alexa?
This sort of leads me to my constructive,
Go ahead.
which is, Erwin, you are incredibly good at writing disorienting scripts. This is a title, Robot Girl and the Actor, and it seems to be mostly about the actor with a whole bunch of shenanigans, and incidentally a robot girl who's in about 15% of the 5 pages that you gave us. And most of the scenes with her in it are not actually about her. So it's got a rom-com title. It's not introducing the main first character first, and there's no real theme or any idea of what kind of story this is, which it's got, again, best moment, but it's really hard to know what you're trying to do here at any point in these 5 pages, aside from just have a very weird universe, which you're great at, but it's really confusing. And if you're going to have a title like this, actually, I want to see a conversation shop where someone goes in, pays $300 for 5 minutes of small talk with a fucking robot, and then $300, 5 minutes, talk about the weather. Let's go. I want to see that.
That was an idea that I had in there.
That's much more interesting than groceries.
But I realized that it was just unnecessary. I think it builds a world better than people talking about groceries and takeout food. It's perfect. It's purposefully.
And then seeing the robot girl turn around and be like, "No, I just had to act like a robot to get a job," and then seeing her sweat after the conversation, and her anxiety about that is, I think, pretty culturally relevant, while also I know it's much weirder, and I know it requires a bit more thought, but it is so much weirder. I think it makes it better.
Oh wow, you're giving off Blade Runner vibes where you don't know if it's human or robot.
Yeah, and then you turn around and then she's sweating like, "Oh my god, I just had a conversation. I got paid for it." It's like her first day in the whorehouse. It's great. That I want to see that, and then this very bland conversation where she's still acting like a robot when she's off work, and then watching the robots like dom people afterwards. Like, there you go. That 5 minutes, you have sold me on this movie, right?
Well, yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot more sort of
So yeah. Also, I agree with Robert. Like,
flat and
those
slow.
locations are
Yeah,
great.
it's gonna
like the conversation shop forces a conversation of people trying to have a human conversation with someone who's acting like a robot.
And then also there's robots in there.
Well, I'm playing out the conflict too
So,
early there.
I think you should lean into that concept a lot more than like it's a grocery store.
Oh yeah, I mean she's definitely gonna be put in a place where she wants to connect.
I think she should start there.
Well, that's the meet cute. Save that for opening up the second act or something. When you're doing with the meet cute, and the meet cute is when she's confronted with, am I a robot, or am I have I been implanted?
Am I better off acting like a robot?
Right. That's the meet cute. That would be. Are you kidding? That's
like,
rom.
It's
That's
a rom-com.
That's a romantasy. That's a romantasy, and you could sell it 1,000 times in micro stories. I mean, there's just a dozen ways to treat this. It's go with it, Gerwin.
It's gonna be pretty quiet. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to get to sort of just go beyond to get it beyond the the attempts at these two people to connect to each other somehow and also to connect to themselves. I mean, I considered a lot of there will be more fireworks, mostly with Zhang, and with Robot Girl and the piano and stuff like that. But it's going to be less sci-fi-ish, less like obvious. It's going to be tangential to the central conflict. So, but yeah, I'm looking at working with a micro filmmaker, like someone who's
minute and a half episodes. You could do it.
Oh, you're talking about the small episodes. A minute, okay. Yeah,
like 20. If you do 30 minute and a half episodes, I can recommend some place that would buy it from you. If you can write that script. Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't even know. I mean, I know that stuff happens in China. Like they have these little micro dramas. Yeah, but
it's hugely popular in China. It's the biggest growth area for storytelling, digitally that is going on, and it's happening here now too. And it's all romantasy, all of it. So.
I see.
Yes, we've all worked on verticals. They're all terrible.
Yeah, well, not all of them. I mean, they're soap operas basically.
There's at least one that was not written by a robot, but so many of them are.
Yeah. Well, this is not going to be soapy, but yeah, as per my usual, yeah, people have a hard time connecting, and yeah, it's going to be that's going to be the center of it, and hopefully, and a lot of it's I'm thinking is going to be shot between the two apartments, so that the budget can be kept to a minimum.
Oh, and the conversation center. Change the grocery store to a conversation store, and you've got something going there. They just go in there and they talk about it, and they could be a concession stand as you walk in, so they could have food. And that's another opportunity for an interesting conversation.
Maybe she has to get a job later at the conversation shop. Yeah, but yeah, I'm totally fine with the slow beginning that seems very like straight out of 1995. Going to Whip It and getting your milk or whatever, and hanging out with talking briefly to the person who lives across the hallway from you. So, but yeah, I it's going to be slow and it's going to build up. Yeah, so.
Cool.
All right, John?
I don't really have much to add. I was confused by a couple things where you kept saying she's maybe this, she's maybe that, she's maybe this, and I'm just like, just pick one, dude. Like,
Sure,
tell me
yeah.
what is, not what it might be. You know, like your job is to tell me what is, and But other than that, I think everybody else kind of nailed it. Yeah, looking forward to see where it goes.
Cool.
All right. There you go. Those are all the scripts we have tonight.
Very good. Gives me
Yeah.
time to go give a bath to a
Okay.
child. So
Awesome. Yeah, my only constructive is I would like those two things going on in those two locations to have more of a connection. Hopefully there will be soon as the story progresses. Because otherwise, yeah, it's like how is thing one like thing two? You know, it's the obvious
yeah,
question.
yeah. The scenes are gonna be almost all like, like 75% of them are gonna be those two characters in the same place.
And some people like that kind of stuff, like in Magnolia, there's like all these different, kind of vignette short stories that don't, unlike Pulp Fiction, like they don't interact. They're more just kind of thematic. I think there's maybe an interaction between like one of, like two of them, but there are others that are just there and, like kind of provide a sense of theme or something. And some people are cool with that. And some people are cool with slow Western. People have to watch them on accelerated speed. I mean, it just,
Oh. I'm assuming you
No, it's
don't want
only
me to write.
weirdos who have to watch it with accelerated speed.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm apparently the only person who watched the entire film straight through and paid for it. Maybe Irwin did. So maybe Irwin.
I have watched like all 5 to 7 takes of every scene.
Dailies don't count. Dailies are part of you're paid to watch dailies. You're not paying to watch a film. There's a difference.
Yeah, no, I watched. I wanted to watch the whole thing all at once, but I was interrupted, and then so I had to watch the rest of it like a week later or something like that because I really wanted to sit down and have completely uninterrupted time. But I enjoyed it, and yeah. And if you want to know more about it, you can call me or whatever. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Preston, I'm assuming you don't want me to publish what I wrote.
That's right. Yeah. By all means, yeah.
All right.
The more reviews, the better, quite frankly, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad Ryan will be happy to know that you thought he did a good job acting because he was real nervous.
Ryan was so good.
Really?
Ryan,
Yeah.
What did you say, Danny?
He was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was stupid nervous, but he was so good.
Yeah, I mean, like that guy. I don't know if he's, but he works in a bagel shop, and he's got a connection at Central Casting, and we just needed an actor. And he's like, okay, fine. So he was just there last minute. Like took time off his work, drove up. Okay, I'm going to be a cowboy, and he delivered a great performance. So
Which one was Ryan?
It's the kid.
The kid who gets shot and dies, and that's Thomas Jane's boy, and swear
Billy was his name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Billy was.
Yeah, Thomas Jane was excellent, as I wrote. As I told you, I thought he was. The trouble when you have one really strong actor is the other people. If the other people don't step up, it's an issue, which I felt was there. And as I wrote before, I felt that Army had more potential to provide in the scene, and I completely put that on the shoulders of the director. That's the director's job to make sure that happens. That's my opinion. So, from what I saw, and I did not see how it was filmed. I didn't read the script beforehand, and all of that. Yeah.
As I posted in the writer Discord, that Star Trek Brave New Worlds, which kind of revisits the original series, has now cast Thomas Jane as Bones McCoy.
Yes,
and I think it's part based on his role in our Western. And now I'm imagining Bones McCoy mixed with Mule. Romeo Nail didn't help his intelligence, Don.
I love it. What was good about his character?
Maybe I'll meet him on set. It'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyway, all right. Well, take care, everyone.
All right.
Next week.
All right.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a safe one. Ciao.
Good night, everybody.